What if I told you that the most valuable bowls in the world are the broken ones? Not brand new bowls. Not perfect bowls. Broken ones. Bowls that have cracks running through them, filled with gold. These bowls can sell for thousands of dollars. Sometimes more than they were worth when they were new and perfect. Why would anyone pay more for something broken? Today, I want to tell you about a beautiful idea that could change how you see yourself and your life. It's called Wabi Sabi. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you posted a photo on social media? Think about that moment. Did you take one photo and post it immediately? Or did you take 10 photos, maybe 20, choosing the perfect angle, the perfect lighting, the perfect smile? Did you use a filter? Did you adjust the brightness? Did you crop out the messy background? We all do this. We're trying to show the world a perfect version of ourselves. A version without flaws, without mess, without imperfection. But here's the question, how does that make you feel? Does it make you feel good? Or does it make you feel exhausted? Because perfection is exhausting. Trying to be perfect, trying to look perfect, trying to have a perfect life. It's like running on a treadmill that never stops. You keep running, but you never arrive. We live in a world obsessed with perfection. Perfect bodies, perfect homes, perfect relationships, perfect careers. We scroll through social media and see everyone else's highlight reel. Their best moments, their perfect angles, their filtered reality. And we compare. We look at our own lives and see all the imperfections. The extra weight we're carrying, the messy kitchen, the relationship that has its struggles, the career that hasn't taken off yet. We think, I'm not good enough. I'm not where I should be. I need to fix myself, improve myself, perfect myself. But what if that's the wrong way to think about it? What if perfection isn't the goal at all? In Japan, there's an ancient philosophy that sees things completely differently. It's called Wabi Sabi. Wabi Sabi is hard to translate into English because it's more than just words. It's a way of seeing the world. But if I had to explain it simply, I would say this: Wabi Sabi is finding beauty in imperfection, accepting the natural cycle of growth and decay, and appreciating things as they are. It's about seeing the crack in the bowl and thinking, that's what makes it beautiful. It's about looking at autumn leaves, brown and falling, and seeing them as more beautiful than the perfect green leaves of summer. It's about understanding that nothing lasts forever, nothing is perfect, and nothing is complete. And that's not a problem. That's life. That's beauty. Let me tell you about something called kintsugi. It's a Japanese art that perfectly demonstrates Wabi Sabi. When a bowl or a vase breaks in Japan, some people don't throw it away. Instead, they practice kintsugi, which means golden joinery. They take the broken pieces and put them back together using lacquer mixed with gold, silver, or platinum. But here's the important part: they don't try to hide the cracks. They highlight them. They make them shine. The golden lines become the most beautiful part of the object. The philosophy behind this is profound. The bowl isn't less valuable because it broke. It's more valuable because it has a history. Because it has survived something. Because it shows the beauty of resilience and repair. The cracks tell a story. They say, I broke, and I was put back together. And now I'm even more beautiful than before. Imagine if we applied this to our own lives. Imagine if we saw our scars, our mistakes, our failures, our broken pieces not as things to hide, but as things that make us more interesting, more beautiful, more valuable. That time you failed and had to start over. That relationship that ended and taught you what you really need. That mistake that humbled you and made you more compassionate. Those aren't flaws in your story. Those are the golden cracks that make your story worth telling. But we don't do this, do we? We try to hide our cracks. We put filters on our photos, we carefully manage what we share with others, we pretend we have it all together. We're terrified that if people see our imperfections, they'll think less of us. They'll judge us. They'll reject us. Let me tell you about a man named James. James was a photographer, and for years, he built his career on creating perfect images. Perfect lighting, perfect composition, perfect editing. His photos looked flawless, like something from a magazine. People hired him because his work was so polished. So clean. So perfect. And for a while, James felt successful. His business grew, his reputation spread, and his bank account looked healthy. But something was wrong. James felt disconnected from his work. He felt like he was creating beautiful lies. The perfect family photos where the family was actually fighting before and after the shoot. The perfect wedding photos that hid the bride's tears of doubt. The perfect portraits that made people look nothing like themselves. He started to feel like a fraud. Like he was helping people pretend to be something they weren't. And in the process, he was pretending too. One day, James attended an exhibition of Japanese art. And there it was, a bowl with golden cracks running through it. A kintsugi bowl. He stood there staring at it for a long time. Something clicked in his mind. The bowl wasn't trying to be perfect. It was honest about what it had been through. And that's what made it beautiful. James made a decision that day. He started a new project. He called it Real People, Real Lives. He asked his subjects to show him something real. Something imperfect. Something honest. He photographed a mother with tired eyes and messy hair, holding her newborn baby. He photographed an elderly couple, with wrinkled hands intertwined, sitting in their worn-out kitchen. He photographed a cancer survivor with scars visible, smiling with genuine joy. At first, James was nervous. He thought people wouldn't like these photos. They weren't polished or perfect. They showed reality, with all its imperfections. But something unexpected happened. People loved them. Not just liked them, loved them. They said things like, "This is real. This is beautiful. This is life." His new work started getting more attention than his perfect photos ever did. Galleries wanted to show his work. Magazines wanted to feature his stories. But more importantly, James felt connected to his work again. He felt like he was showing truth instead of hiding it. One woman told him, "Thank you for showing that it's okay not to be perfect. Your photos made me feel like I'm enough just as I am." That's when James understood. People don't need more perfection. They need permission to be imperfect. They need to see that they're not alone in their struggles, their mess, their humanness. This is the gift of Wabi Sabi. It gives us permission to be human. To be imperfect. To be works in progress. Think about nature for a moment. Is nature perfect? No. Trees grow crooked. Flowers bloom and wilt. Rivers carve irregular paths through the land. Mountains are rough and jagged, not smooth and polished. But we find nature beautiful. We travel to see mountains and forests and oceans. We take photos of sunsets that are never the same twice. We appreciate the imperfect, impermanent, incomplete beauty of the natural world. So why can't we appreciate those same qualities in ourselves? Why do we demand perfection from ourselves when we celebrate imperfection in nature? Wabi Sabi teaches us three important truths. These truths might sound simple, but they're revolutionary if you really let them sink in. First truth: nothing lasts forever. Everything is temporary. Everything changes. This moment right now will never come again. Your youth won't last, your career will evolve, your relationships will change, and one day, you will die. That sounds dark, but it's actually liberating. If nothing lasts forever, then there's no point chasing perfection. Because even if you achieved it, you couldn't keep it. So instead, appreciate what you have right now, in this imperfect, fleeting moment. Second truth: nothing is perfect. There is no such thing as a flawless person, a perfect body, a perfect life. Perfection is an illusion, a standard that doesn't exist in reality. The more you chase it, the more miserable you become. But here's the beautiful part: you don't need to be perfect to be valuable. Your worth isn't determined by how flawless you are. You're valuable because you're human, because you're here, because you're trying. Third truth: nothing is complete. You are not a finished product. You're always growing, always changing, always in process. And that's okay. Actually, that's perfect. Because life is not about arriving at some final destination. It's about the journey itself. So how do we live with Wabi Sabi? How do we actually practice this in our daily lives? Let me give you some practical ways to embrace imperfection. First, start noticing beauty in unexpected places. Look for the charm in old, worn things. The wooden table with scratches that tell stories. The favorite sweater with a hole in the elbow. The wrinkles on your grandmother's face that map out her life. Train your eye to see these things as beautiful, not flawed. Because beauty isn't just about polish and perfection. Beauty is about character, history, authenticity. Second, share something imperfect. Post a photo without a filter. Tell a story about a mistake you made. Let someone see the messy side of your life. It's scary at first, but here's what happens: people connect with you more deeply. Because they see themselves in your imperfection. Perfect people are intimidating. Imperfect people are relatable. And connection happens in the space of shared humanity, not in the illusion of perfection. Third, practice self-compassion when you make mistakes. Instead of beating yourself up, thinking, "I'm such an idiot, I always mess things up," try thinking, "I'm human, and humans make mistakes. This is part of learning and growing." Treat yourself the way you would treat a good friend who's struggling. With kindness, understanding, and patience. Fourth, let go of things that don't serve you anymore. Wabi Sabi isn't about holding on to everything forever. It's about accepting the natural cycle of things. Some relationships end. Some dreams change. Some possessions wear out. That's okay. That's life. Let things go with gratitude for what they were, not with regret for what they couldn't be. Here's something important I want you to understand. Embracing Wabi Sabi doesn't mean giving up or not trying. It doesn't mean you stop growing, stop improving, stop caring about your work or your life. It means you stop demanding perfection. It means you accept yourself as you are right now, while still moving forward. It means you give yourself grace for being human. Think about it like this. Imagine you're learning to play the piano. If you demand perfection from day one, you'll quit. You'll be frustrated and discouraged because you can't play like a master. But if you embrace the Wabi Sabi approach, you accept that learning is messy. You'll hit wrong notes, you'll play too slow or too fast, you'll make countless mistakes. And that's not just okay, that's necessary. That's the process. You keep practicing, keep improving, but you don't hate yourself for being a beginner. You appreciate where you are in the journey. Let me tell you what Wabi Sabi has meant in my own life. For years, I tried to present a perfect version of myself to the world. I was careful about what I said, how I looked, what I shared. I was constantly editing myself, filtering myself, performing for others. And it was exhausting. I felt like I was living behind a mask. And the worst part was, even when people liked me, I felt like they didn't really know me. They liked the perfect version I was showing them, not the real me. One day, I decided to try something different. I shared something real. I talked about a failure, a struggle, a doubt. I expected judgment. I expected people to think less of me. But the opposite happened. People opened up to me. They shared their own struggles. They told me they felt the same way. And for the first time, I felt truly connected to people. Not because I was perfect, but because I was honest. That's when I understood. My imperfections aren't obstacles to connection. They're the path to connection. Because when I show my real self, flaws and all, I give others permission to do the same. Here's the truth that Wabi Sabi teaches us. You don't need to wait until you're perfect to be worthy of love, respect, and belonging. You don't need to fix all your flaws before you can be happy. You don't need to hide your scars before you can be beautiful. You are enough right now. Not because you're perfect, but because perfection isn't what makes us human. Imperfection is what makes us human. And being human is beautiful. Your cracks, your scars, your mistakes, your rough edges. Those aren't things to be ashamed of. Those are your golden lines. Those are the parts of you that tell your story, that show you've lived, that prove you've survived. So the next time you look in the mirror and see your imperfections, try something different. Instead of thinking, I need to fix this, try thinking, this is part of my story. The next time you make a mistake, instead of beating yourself up, try thinking, this is me learning, this is me growing, this is me being human. The next time you compare yourself to someone else's perfect image, remember, you're seeing their highlight reel, their filtered version, their carefully curated life. You're not seeing their struggles, their doubts, their messy reality. And more importantly, remember that you don't need to compete with anyone else's perfection. Because there's beauty in your own imperfect, authentic, real life. Let me leave you with this image. Imagine that bowl with golden cracks running through it. That kintsugi bowl. You are that bowl. You've been through things. You've broken. You've struggled. You've survived. And those experiences, those challenges, those moments when you fell apart and had to put yourself back together, those aren't weaknesses. Those are your golden lines. Those are what make you valuable. Those are what make you interesting. Those are what make you beautiful. Not in spite of your imperfections, but because of them. Wabi Sabi isn't just about accepting imperfection. It's about finding beauty in it. It's about understanding that the cracks are where the light gets in. It's about knowing that you don't need to be perfect to be whole. So embrace your Wabi Sabi. Embrace your perfectly imperfect self. Let your golden lines show. Because that's what makes you real. That's what makes you human. That's what makes you beautiful. Thank you for listening. Now go be beautifully imperfect. I hope this video brought you something meaningful. If you find it helpful, please like and share it with someone who may need it. Subscribe if you would like to hear more stories like this. Wishing you a calm and peaceful day.